1, 2.
Yo, kwa eba patriotic agenda jumedi a yedi no Wednesday, Thursday, Friday bia na enneso ye fiada edu fiada yentufu ena Jessica edu fiada yentufu na ensem bebre na akoso MPP amaneku nu so fa regional elections a omeba beto na program e friend patriotic agenda jumedi chairman untumi the national chairman jumedi ene ye bonu ho dawuro ekwan a MPP amaneku no befa so a national elections no amanfo bebre ebe kai chairman untumi because yenim say September 19th eno beto aba no enti ye bo delegate nka ye say ene na regional bana omo ba beto na ene omo summit omo forms no ye be say delegate constituency executive say omo nka chairman untumi na chairman untumi na ye obi a ye ka part ni grassroots Ford Masha e wo MPP amaneku no ma ono na sam radio obi ebo ne din say obi a be fili obi a be didi say o pese 2028 no MPP amaneku no agi tumi na o fili na o didi dia chema ontumi na program ya me ye frame nana bodu dodo na frame nana bi na me ne mia me nua kuma mwat e na program ye da no na mwat bibia bokode
Nyame ye huni pa mobo nana na so e
na de na ekọ
nana se enne ena sene odi nkan eda na edima patriotic agenda ahwefo no enne ena eye constituency omo ekọ for various positions ni nyina no omo epeke forms no obi a submit ne forms obi a fill ni de wi a esese o submit na ode kọ na afi mpanifo so ebrepem no omo atumi age atomu na omo avert wom omo convert nti eno ane niema egusu ayani edi akire na ye monitor sene polling station area coordinators there any constituency there na wotwe twam ya akọ na wie ye no yenim se we nso no ebeye krabehwe na regional there no so omatumi ayeni nyina ansana afi national there na nkasa opie mu pa no atumi aba so all eyes are watching anywhere nyina ehwe ya so eda form cameras edi akire ene yani ankasa nso esanso edi akire we are hoping say campaigning no ebekoye from all the aspirants are nyina ejina for various positions no na afi obi anso etumi akọvert no edi nkunimum na eja abato ni do a delegate akwa decide omo fate various regions and I said the 16 regions of Ghana no nana so far they said the order na edi no sa pepepe na ekọ eja yina nso yani edi akire sisi ya yani constituency ni electoral area ni polling station for every area that just say regional for no omo 10 ene yeah
enne kra na submit omo forms
exactly
chese won say enne nipa ebegu regional secretariat no na enye nipa keto akora na obi mebusa say MPP amaneku no say emu odesa because o hwe nkrofo a
yeah
omo contesting nkrofo omo do omo wura party ni ma na that means the party no ama for the party ne pa na ohun say
nana te se ne odi nkan kai no ma menka ya hwefo se dwumadi nso ombetumi anya hwe ewo YouTube aye movement TV untumi radio untumi TV again on YouTube and a Facebook no so ye untumi online afi mentoa o question no so nana ohwe from electoral polling station electoral area Ediba constituency na minim say wo de o groundsman inti oka unim ne wonan esi so but me na wotwe atwa mu constituency de kakra mi di mani ekohu yen no emma me ahotoso emma me anidaso ade ba akopɛ na me bɔ mpaye for is to bury our differences say ye bema broni bese ye bygones to be bygones ye atwam no ye bema na atwam ne ya hwɛ ne eye den ede ye nim no na sɛ nana mimpo na me fom wo a ana wona wo fom me a ye bɛhwɛ NPP the bigger interest no ni yetumi aye adwuma abomu rather than say ye be keka ye ho so forms no any from regional enipa ekogu ho bi didi say nye greater Accra hainko a okọ other regions nso a sa pepepe na ekoso den ewo ho because eniema enkoye ewo Ghana and amanyoku a enidaso wo ni mu atimamufo nso wo mugidie NPP it at this stage NPP after 2024 general elections no na ye fi say ebekọ from pa nenso from elections JFK any penny for ten as a directive so the buyer o de ato aba maako miensa no na ahokeka wo enkrofu mu no eye ni daso okese ni aka ne se ebeka ye ho abom ye beti ye ho ase na ye de ye mfom so nkete no acheche ye ho na afi yetumi akoye nim and yetumi eye ne sa 2028 NPP ebeba stronger than even 2016 and no more opposition you know kwan ya omofa so unite ye eba you know I can see this time says yetumi e de sa ne ma mabobo so yina de to ye chi a NPP will be much more stronger than 2016 ahead of year 2028 general elections. Yeah.
Na unim se enne eye wejabawe sema statica yi Jerry Ahmed constituency.
Jerry must go.
And yet is some more press conference.
Okay.
Na videos are you ye no. Actually say delegates na omo constituency ebu of papa. Omo pa say
yeah.
Omo kwa kensi police station for no. Omo kwa kensi emiye to omo so aba.
Right.
See there no obobo di no. Nim say di ni sa wo ho de a. Na kwa repeat amaye. Omo say guy ba ko a onu lusu ye. Sa guy no on chidi say friend say ono no insight incrofo insight incrofo for a friend say
Jerry must go
agenda no na omunim ade kronti a oppressa na okwakansie mani lusuye eti omunim ade kronti omo forso sa ana say obi hye onwase e na omo yesa hwe wo hwe video no e ba e no hwe no ma e course no chese constituency ni bu afu Emma committee chairman no committee chairman ne kasa what's on the committee chairman omo ye Jerry must go ni nyina no a lot of them came to stand for the polling station as a contest no they don't know why omo go jam be say Jerry must go na Jerry must go that day cry to aba no na Jerry wasn't there and ye abon so Jerry wasn't there it's a day bad day and omo ji ana say nkofo no omo hye sankofo na se no so mu fi say position no omo say pe biom dia omo sere omo say Jerry Ahmed no omo ji ni tum Jerry ba no no mu nipa bebre kura en support Jerry but Jerry really ye no omo hu say Jerry ye obi a wo ye ni papa pa e betimi aboa betimi aboa Ofori apa ebetimi aboa etu ono be sere se anase on be sere se enoma na omo ye Jerry must go no on make sure say Jerry enko ba bia na Jerry no omo penasem omo ginidi eti ese saade a de omo ka se Jerry must go no omo nkasa de beko so omo mpe party ni dia omo nja party ni nsiwo wo hwe sa no ma na ekoso na amanfo be so sabotage party nana
clearly nipa bi ene hye sankrofo ye achi na ne eseso omunya ntiase ne se owura Jerry Ahmed mrahye bedwani owura Jerry Ahmed constitutionally amamre ene amambuo emra kwan so no yato aba ene ye de ayi no yato aba ene ye de ayi no enti se okaka se Jerry must go a Jerry ya impose no amfa na ama wejagbawe emrahye bedwafo se chenchena anase adehye se omra ms na won so na emomo no yeto aba ene de ma owura Jerry Ahmed ene nyame adom ode be ye mrahye bedwani a Ghana ya mamra no ema ho kwan enu nti se even NPP se wakwa akansie na amfa amanwa enya wo mrahye bedwani a se be ye registration na onka ho enya ono no ye committee chairman ena ode wani breba kwa ye den ekowie ne so because mo amoko abato na mulusu ye nra edin ni da mani musisi ya nana sankrofo ye disqualify mu bia
sa
what ma say ye disqualify mu bia ya nsanso impose any restrictions bia anto mu bia so say ye ma wo kwan na wunyina wo fata na nso ye nyeden ye ma wo kwan
sa
wunyina committee agi mutu mu mo converting enya akwanya esan so to aso ko abato ena wanwi ni senke ebia ye yiwu frim wo bra enye emra kwan so a ena ne wo agitate sa nka bia ntiase ye den ewu na enye obi a wakọ abato ne wadi nkuguo what must say ena wo be bon hwen abeka Jerry must go honorable Jerry Ahmed wonko ba bia 4 years nyame ya adom na emremu NPP aman yokuo no wo constitution esan so ma no ho kwan se ye nkonkoto ne so aba na ebia ye koto aba na onwini so onyina wajagbawe anamu a eno ano no se ye ko na olusu a I don't think say Jerry ebekwa akotop mu ewu ona bo won kotop mu wu se na ye ono na ye mrahye bedwani mebo a enye ona bo tina mensa former deputy health minister ene ye koto aba na oluzu na Jerry ba ye ye betu ya koto aba na Jerry nso aye den eluzu no ofoforo nso aye den aba what must here but to agitate say obe campaign say Jerry must go wo bra amamre mu yato aba ama no na oye mrahye bedwani de obi be se na no so omote ne wen what must here enti ye be stress omo masomdwe enye den emra na eye me den say delegate ewo horo are responding to all these calls no so oma mekasa anka mekasa e bia na omo so eye den eka ho na oma ba abekasa asset the records no so straight e de ato ho e ma obi ehu enti na mame mbobọ enra ne ode ma me no so na ye hu omo a ekwagina abato no na bia biwi a memfem pagya me na dwumadi no enye den ento aso se bibia ni ho biem a enti de me mbobọ so se na ebe ye obi nkoye na dwen se yete ha ne yabo yetirim ne ye ka ne ye omo ekwa abato e wo mpatem horo mame embobọ so emma aye ahwefo a ehwe Patriotic Agenda live on Movement TV untumi radio e wo YouTube sarans na YouTube krona no untumi TV Facebook eye untumi online nana me bobọ so na ebia mi wi a dwumadi na aka no etumi ato
bobọ so
medase eni akwanya Weja osi New Weja East Electoral Area Secretary omo ekwagina ye ni Kamilaya Haruna say onu enya 173 Ellen Benny Wood Mensa wonu enya 19
yes onu so gina sa Jerry must go no sa de onya 19 no wo gina Jerry must go ni papa
wanya ne campaign ye omblem no ho mamento aso Malam East Electoral Area ano ase area comes communication you know and also Haruna Amidu 58 and a branch of friends say Salisu Alhassan onya 8 ahwefo entie ni ye pa Malam West Electoral Area chairperson na chese dwamtene a wobetena ho no emma mienu baba akone be ma baako Edith Osei Bonsu 86 vote Buedu Samuel Kwaku 49 Uba Malam West Electoral Area organizer Daniel Amuaku Brickrine enya 100 Daniel Daku Duodu enya 37 ono so ne de no and afi the last one no eye 1+1 polling station chairperson Buachi Kwame onya 19 Joyce Esiedu enya 12 nana ne odebetu dwai enipa bi ebo omo hwen no abato a omo kọ wo ho no sei eni ne pie ya efi mu bai so enipa ya ugbo ebidin se megbo odin a o kan se yesi ono nso egina mu Jerry must go chenchene atwan ye to ne so aba
sa
ye disqualify no ye koto ne so aba ye vete no of an forms ye gitumu emonya akwanya ko vetin okọ vetin wie ye man kwan ma ne ye ne campaign etumi gina so kwa abato ye koto ne so aba onya bi enkunim ne wantumi yandi nti minim nisu
what edu pa bia na ya ndeka no say party ni se wanya abotre a ho
yeah
obi se Jerry Ahmed say o abotre te say eye friends chema ontumi because sa no man e koso no
yeah
obehwe no na obi hyase o obehwe no na ebia friends former MPB
mpani se baby ani ho obewu se wisie wo ho a ejeni ho
because constituency no mu former MPs bebere wom
okay
etibeti me say former MPB sha enra me wo ha na menya call
akwala akoto pani achi so be ye pio
obi frame ya na wonte malamba adenti na wo ka ho ase na sebi se enye ensema meka akere no because woni me number nti wo frame ebusa me say friends ensembe na ye ka movement na menya akomapa ema
na me bisa o say ye beka ye ho
course abam so
yeah
course abam so was Jerry Ahmed issue we no enye course ketwa but party ne yepe ne ye
na say ye beka ye ho abom ye bone ana
bisa biom
say amanyokuo no ye beka ye ho abom na ye tumi di akwaji tumi 2028 ye ne bone so a
enye bone
ana ye ko opposition enipa bi wo ho mo da payroll so ya o mo ja ketua na ye
mi nchire de
what must say enti say centroni a wudwumadie so wedi wo Greater Accra as far as NPP is concerned. Every constituency biara no we privy to near aircos. Me pacho esese woto aba e wo wagyagbaawe. Esese wotena wagyagbaawe me hu se nana bi eti wagyagbaawe ansa na watumi aka ho asem ana.
Busabiom.
Oh, ya besre ye nuanom no. You see me de eya na ma criticize enema enam ne kwan so. Ya besre wom. Ya besre wom bebre. Ya ma dwobrɛw emraw. Na ne ye namu sisi ye no. Ne ye namu sisi ene ne ye di ye ni ehu no. Na me de kakra me hu no na wotwe atwam awie ye no. Eno a me kan se ema me ani da so. Esan so ma me ahotoso bebre. What ma se ye? Ase ye kan ye hobomu a ye betumi agitumi no 2028 hands down. Na so sa bitterness ni pettiness nkitinkiti we no. Si entumi anyi afiri ye mu. Na ye hu ye ho se ne asi no asi ye ma ni ntwam nko. Ne ye hwe ne yeda yanimu na. Sabe ye bedi yeto aboro asan so atanyeye mu.
Ye bedi dey.
Ye bedi yeto aboro. Ne asan so atanyeye. Sabe o. Etana ba woto. Ehwo na sabe ye tafa.
Ya tobo.
Enti na mato sebe no.
Wo TV so.
Mate enti na make sebe.
Ana ujem ma oyerebo.
Inframa bone na ba say we yifi what me nka ne sa.
Wo TV so na.
Sabe waka woto adwum. Chinchina achim na we yafuna ye kuntum. Ebe kakra beti ase age wo yem kun. Na afi na eso yare no na ebesi no na aye den. Na asi. Na mpacho what ma say.
Matias pa.
Enti me mpese make sa bebre. Ye be stress ye party ma no ema asumudwe ema nkabom ema odo ne kro ye enye den emra rather than say ye be papa ye ho ana ye be chiche ye mu bebre emfa hwe emre yen
sa
ebi na nei ye pass mra kra na minority wo ho a sebe ye de form aji yo
sa
what ma say wo parliament and ye pass mra no majority pa ni omo pe bia na omo ye den omo ye Mpajo what ma say emra ye hihye ye hihye ma wanhwe ada korokoro ye beda be sore no ye betia ne se emra ya hye no na me ni umienu me ye metena radio ana TV so kura nkasa kura bi what ma say na ene ye besi na ne abo NPP hu dewu eba ne sa ye besi den ene abo NPP amanyuku no hu dewu enti ye besre omo masom dwemra
on se mat
minia
de o pa ne se your nkrofo bi wo ha MPP amanuku no
yeah
say no mpese om say no
enemies within
hwe ebi di positions bebre so still na o say prebium so obeko
the bonyoy
but o si bibia edi ho as o say press obeko
okay
je make us what say
so
ko a lot of constituency prince where ya no project picture na mai so ko a lot of constituency
yeah
o si bibia edi ho and so omo pray say ombeko elections okwa region okwa national the same thing it is a bibia ni ho de a agenti na wontra ho na obi so nya de emma
na ne opene nko na
ni bibia ni wonto ba na de na oba ba ye so hwe enoma course o regional officer MPP manuku no e wo pick farmer
yeah
na ni kan bebere ni ka ho na me hu say party na manfo buofu no omo do party no na akwesa asante kotoko enemy jet team ni support so bet o share one go to go na o say fabu ebi enen esi wo friends MPP amanuku eti ye best MPP amanuku empany force yesrem party ni baby adu no ye pensem sa na manfo ka so o hwe a lot of constituency na o hwe what eno me course so ha ena o ka so chairman akura na yesesa no o hwe no me course so a
Chama kwa me eji asanse.
Na amanfo need a lot of change. Because and ye interviews baby. Interviews na ye no. Ohu ebi mu dimi na no.
Yeah.
Eni ebi mu sidi ebi mu tie a. Ohu se ade na wokọ no kura ato no so.
Yeah.
And so still person okọ. Ye ni microphone mu from position. E ko another position.
Okay.
Jamaica so what you say.
Nanso
ni nyina ye party ni ye.
Sure.
Ana meboa. It is say ne ope party ni ye di a. Make sure say obeye ade e bebo party no eti ye besre eye empanimfo no say obi biara okọ president national regional elections ni bi no onfa kasade okay onfa kasade What?
Me de manu si na ma sorry. I think
Kasa.
me da ase. Na na ne me kan say abato aye ko no. Ehu hia pa e de mayen. Se ne oka enkrofo ekogu regional ene ade no. Eye NPP amanyoku na ebeboa ye nyina. So me de madesre amekoso asre party ma is to make sure say ye be bury in differences. Ye be kan ye bibia atumu na yetumi ahwe se asumudwe mapa ebetumi aba ewa amanyoku ni mu na bibia nso atumi ayeden akoso. Mbacho what am I saying? Enti ye ma adwobraw enye den emra. Omo agitate susu enso must go. This must come. Yesremo. Efie kire mpani se nka abofunu bia enye den ini ho. Yato sa elections no. Yato awie. Ni aka eye regional ye ba beko. Moma yenhwe regional de no. Na yemfo ko so ewo ho. Obi a wususu se one way or the other. Wujina abato ni bi enema nkoye amaw nanso hu se uwo a key role to play in NPP no na enye sabre we na wo bebo obi so bo ye wo part ni ye hu se uwo akomapa e de ma NPP amanyokuo no what has here ye wa famu de ni ye hu se wo uwo akomapa e de ma NPP amanyokuo no rather than say obeye wa famu de no obe start say obobo ohwe o say nkrofo emfa hwe enye den emrew ebema yakoso asofa mo sa ne ema we bi koso e na de edidija na imuna ne ade e de ba ya na yanya yankoto aba ne ye de aba edi ma NDC enne yiso a process no aye wider ni nyina so ya ma mo kwan ma wa fam ni bi no o da so kasa enka ne no so na police station kra ne ya ma mo akwan ya what ma say mo kasa enne so ya mo akwan e ma wanya akwenya fa form akwa fele wa submit the ya ma akwa mo akọ vetting akọ elections where you so still obo enye den ento we eye den ya eye den what ma say eye den pa e na ye pe adan ye di ye ho bone sa what ma say so the point I'm making is that be plea to NPP amanyokuo ni mma ene say won momodin say obi akoma ebeko fom ni enka ye comment yeyem ye moa wo moa edi nkunim no say even when we nimpo na wo robi a ubetumi e play na ne odi nkunim wo ne na ye adwuma na edi NPP aba power that should be your main goal rather than say ube sorry na ube criticize sa wow sa yama akwan no akọ elections
me dia medwe ho ne say
yeah
musi bibia ni ho it say bibia ni ho na obi ba manemra bie usi bibia ni ho ese wo prese obesako bibia ni ho akwa se enkrofo kwa abrochire omso abrochire oba hwe ni ho enso de bia oba Ghana na
okọ kra won kra
bibia manukuo no omse ho nye ni kra okọ constituency a also constituency bibia ni ho na wo pra ba be ye den enso di bakro no okasa akire wo no na still na press obesako re-election
ye be office mo mefa files obi akofa bi ko ehwo so se bibia ni wo so akofa file
ansala biti abrochire say was offer forms oh do me kwa abenya so you see sometimes oh dabi no kro na make no hwe obi ti say ansala bidie no I know say a perfect man if we talk about secretary aspect ansala be a best
anyhow
but say no enye so ba gi position no no akotena baby na wa short to one person enu no wasam ne yeka
sure
na saka obi a oya strong or contest ansala be no akonu so ni modu a I think saka obetimi because ukwa constituency
see awa ba ya to
constituency o kan of constituency me secretary no olusu ye
wow
olusu ye then so oye what de kasa
enti na ne America ne
kasa wo take no
ne America ne se obi bia ne saka position enye adwuma omoma won so a elusu ye no so omoma omu se omonso wo a role to play in NPP eno so be ye den ebeboa yen ena mobia nso ye na dwen se sebi obebo abro what ma say obebo NPP buga when we ninti obetine akire abobuga te se ne nkrofo ye Jerry must go no what ma say fa wo hu gimu eye winning team ene ye be wode o pese o ye part of the team a say o play role e wo mu wuntumi ntena fie mfa won san hye o dem refem no be tinsi ateche mu enko ne yensan so meye den e mefa
What ene de
inti baby a yegyina ne yenyina ye obi ansesa na adwen
na
mo ayen
ene de betwa so
inti na
yenya eye ohoho kese
pese munkumi nya bi enim strategy ye adwuma I remember Emmanuel Clot in this way saying now they can be Sam. Yeah, as a my dodo nti
because and that's when all submit your forms and
run me and the quiet because me engine this say a dream rare say yes a jamboree near the idea pii because a dream that greater Accra no me ko jamboree are submitted for media here a man for new pool be a obetumi aye adwuma ni ye to salvage us from the doldrums you find yourself in CCR. I remember I said, Emmanuel Clotte. As Emmanuel Clotte, Babedi Greater Accra Regional Research and Elections Officer. Now, me assistant to the National Director of Elections, Honorable Martin J. Mensah Kosa, former Minister for Local Government.
That's a watch room.
Me wo hono na me ye National Elections Operations ni awon nyama. Say new Patriotic Party nyina say ekoye general elections na ekoprint ballot ni ade miani nimpa meeting enim ehwe se MPP ni ewo print houses ni nyina me ehwe medwuma na akoyie ma ballot paper bi ankwa ankofa bebi kura ma ye mfa mbedi MPP nya miana meti hei
but
before me ba ababeye Greater Accra Regional Research and Elections Officer na ankwa mba no 2012 yekoto aba yenya anti-asempa no is as a GDC a win election and so anko ni yie ya ba say oh say saade a ese e kokot ni ekohwem ya bo then flag bearer amane no so on there ontu ni na kokot ekopem bra ye be chirechi no mu yie
ama wate
say
ehun sa de na amade kokot edim
thank you sabre na eja yetun safra mi say una odi amanfo ni nimbi e de ye volunteer work ni ade your collation ho nsɛmsɛm ne anyamanyama enti from crofo no bi ne mbo mo ano ne nkɔhwɛ pink sheet no
na say pink sheet no ebetene ye pink sheet no na uka ho bi
but you na me co-supervisor of the petitioners technical team
and obi beka say na wan kasa waye wo because on say the man beka say na say enwuma na wo bobo so no kire say party ni onim sidi mutie but say edu ba bi sa na wanyi hu ya party for no nim say ye de yanko oni na ye di chi yanko ni but mo aya mo ta hye dem no aya mo ba election say ana mo kire mo ana hu ni sa
no kure no aka no na edwuma no hu nsonso aso no sebio so hwe ye national security architecture na omo ye security ni intelligence omo adokru mu na nkasa ebi a wonim ni dimpo yeah election for no yenta anye huhu isa say edwuma nda so wo dem enti mi say no ahyase ne sa na ekoba no eni tina eze ebinum ya no mo kasa na Emmanuel Clot di enim na Emmanuel Clot di da ben ne ba ma ye edwuma o MPP National IT Directorate ma ye edwuma o MPP National Elections Office ma ye projects Afadankwa Institute abra ye be ye collation e dey ama 2012 elections ni ye dey introduce phones bi ni ye dey collation from the polling station straight.
That was 2016.
That was 2012.
2012. Okay.
It was then 26,002 polling stations. And you coding phones to every single polling stations. Yeah, and 27,000 phones. Sa juma ni nyina no men sem ne fire.
Tena unim juma wedi e party.
Nti ye wie fi ho na ye di pink sheet mu juma no Greater Accra for analysis no. Ye ba ne say me hwe na 5 seats na embattled no. Me bo mo na mo put analysis together. Na ye tumi de call high court na ye call pensen no muso ho. Me ni nimpa me di enima me di sa adwuma no. Sa amre na menya akwan de honorable Ajesowa a ye me former boss. Me ni di dwuma wo sa analysis no. Ene honorable Ayiko to honorable Ebenezer Nate former aspirant or Madina honorable Ajetawia ene your former reverend bi onu gina wo Botiano English amanfo ya sha analysis mu ayi hu se nyama koti ya yempa samre no mu ana honorable Ajesowa edi hu se bibi ani klote bibi wo na wo national ho na weja region ye hia nipa mu na boa yen no di sade and the bra na bra be boa yen na honorable Archibald so regional organizer abra di pink sheet djuma no onu so be volunteer wo ho nti oba o se ye che djuma na ye hwe djuma no obi na ni di djuma na chi ye pa na ho na odi djume okohwe na nkrani akọ abi na wo no no chi edwuma na wo origi mu na ehu bra na beboa yen enti mehwe that course ni nyina na nyame nchaade honorable ajesu a odi enim no moye mi Greater Accra Regional Research and Elections Officer na me de share medwuma ase nyame nchaade ye no na nka me de medwuma akra ato ho na mom the next executives na ye appointee ye omo win ye no omo form no omo fi se o sadia edwuma no waye ni yi nti je se bra na beto aso na bo asan ne nsan koso enti ye ka nuclear ewo ye politics mo MPP policy in the party edwuma especially at the regional level no so ya dukuru mu pa ni yi pa na afin so no se we are elections person na you pay attention to details. What the any strategy? At the end of the day, no, go car, chobo, kukudu, shini na, ninsun swanswani say we win the election. That is what the party exists for. The party does not even necessarily exist to govern. The party exists to win the election first of all, and then form a government to govern the state.
Okay.
And you know, Edumre say, na Greater Accra. Yeja executives 21 seats. Mama Shasin fi ampo say na wo edwuma bi o. Wo yo skenim pa. Wo bo modern. Na wa ye edwuma atre wo hie mu. We biebie nwuma no kita be 21 branches. Across the whole Greater Accra. Ye bo skeni a wo skenim pa. Aba ne say utu kwan. Na weja edwuma ama obabi ana odi ama obi so nhwe so ma. Na 21 branches here odi jani. Emre bidru ya ufi amanone ebe efie no. Ebe bu nkunta ne ehunfanso a wenya. Esi 21 branches ne eso ate aba 14. Oh, na dey asem ne eken. Ebe how?
Se me di jawo no kura do wantimi amfa ba kwa meka ho.
Anka bo ho ban po
wasa ate aba efom.
Ena ba ne say ye pa achowa o odi ye mam rebiom na obetumi abo ho modern na otumi aye na bia beka ho. En the Sunday 14 share wonsa. Ena otu kwan na osamba wo buy no o per results. It say political party it doesn't exist say e be ye nyonkofa ana e be ye nuanum ana e be ye chronism ana nepotism. Results winning seats and the here. Wo san we chi ba no buy no ni bakro na wo ja ade ni share ne nsa no a 50-14 na we do 5 branches be ave answer wo be say tu kwan biom no si na 5 na aka ne de jamia na mingusu anhwe wadwuma no so na bi
sa menchwa no ebia 5 na okase jana menhwe wadwuma no so no ebia na lapses bi wo ho a ebia mistake bi bae na onim sesese no ofiri 21 ne ba 14 na waba 5 no ebia nani aba no ho so eti obe make sure say obesa pija akwakoje 21 ne back nanka waja wade aba eno hu ni sa na
agrobeso efianopa na won say wa wo kanu as a difficult ma
oh there be nya me
to wase me chance no man ka say ko bi asembo
there be o me na
me si na bi wadwuma woni sigani no
me sika
wona wa bia 21 branches ena odi a show bi sa mana bedu 14 o ba no to wa na sesem ena wasa akwa ba bedu 5 na bi asema obi sa mi anka obi bisa mi
oh there
ejuma ne odi a o
ejuma ne me dia all right but on say mehwe ebia the movement oyeye na ma hwe ebia enkomo oni mi bedi no.
Thank you very much. What can say be yen sha sem fi ho. Also be share the movement. And nti na we wie na me catch her say agrobe so a efianopa. Oniama enuama yo ene woni ya a wo ye no. Eno na betumi ama me confidence. Say me ma okwan bioma anka obetumi redeem yourself. I recover niama and come back to the initial 21 branches na ugusu ye no. But when there are no potent structures in place, any certain leadership principles, any certain strategy I wouldn't say if this is in place, no, wouldn't say not just say we are getting back to winning ways. That is not there. You don't give such a person an opportunity to continue with your business. But, because unfaso anything near DJ. Mama show bibi. I've mama show. 2016. Abra, you winning 21 seats. Honorable Ajesoa, he was the Greater Accra Regional Secretary. You kind of strategy, you can't strategy. You can't researcher, you can't research. You fought 34 constituencies now at one after the other. Ni ahwemunsem. Omo ahoden ni sen. Omo mre oyo eni sen. Nempo den strategy ni efa de masa constituency ya ebeboa osunu kokroko party no. Ye di sa adwuma ni nyina. Afi ewie a ni e di constituency na tenase. Afi e bisa constituency no. Ono ankasa se di osi hu niama akoye friend trend analysis. Niama AC in the past to understand the local dynamics in that constituency. Na afi ewie a ye nyina ya agree on a certain strategy for that particular constituency. Ade amene wo kan AC proud to the 2016 elections. That is what a regional secretary who is in charge of strategy and knows how to deliver on his mandate works as a regional secretary. When you're a regional secretary, you are the director of operations in the region. The chairman is the executive chairman of the region. He presides over the regional executive committee meetings. Now, so more decision, who as the regional secretary, who now will implement his decisions, who now will lead the strategy, who now will lead the operations. It is an organizational team, Benye Jumaya. If the initial strategic work of the regional secretary, say the various wings in ebe potenta. If the regional secretary, any strategy ni plans are odiegu kwemu. But follow up after 2016, various elections in 2020 and in 2024, there was nothing like that. Number two. After the election, I said, Sebio, and Yaman Shadan Koya Mao in 2020. So, who sang Kobioma, Mr. O, we Jumura. Won't share near Ma, who bought from any near Corsi would defeat, no. I'm waiting me a post-mortem. Sebio Tafra just a nimpa who cry, a doctor for a year post-mortem. No more to me who a DNT man nimpa no said they can be able to prevent the reoccurrence of such a situation. But nothing of that sort happened in Greater Accra after the 2020 elections.
General, mebo. O kan sembia. MP Pemanoku no. Message bi braba na making kan.
Kinkan bi.
Na o ye reference bi se meme ye sikani. Na me de ade ama asehwe so. Na me de ma no me jao ebia 21. Na me ba no Ababa ye 14. Na me sa baby ababa ye 55. Metimi aka se ebia nipa kro na me di ja no ana ode ma me no. Ne family influence ama madwuma anya de ankoso. It uba ma bo ma ne se wabusua we na odi adwuma ne ma me no. Wabusua na amwa me amama ntimi anya madwuma because me ye adwuma no writer na abusuafo aba no ma be interfere ewo adwumanim nti ama adwuma na anya de ankoyi but say na mama mani aba me so ne de me make sure say 5 no mem peja akọ 21 na me de wa de ama no meja ho unje sure say sa de ne so anka sa ni bakro no so betima yesa.
Oh, see, when you overplay the devil's advocate, you end up becoming the devil himself. And you don't compare apples with oranges. On the hypothesis, you don't change the foundation of the hypothesis. And yes, the whole hypothesis becomes null and void. That's what it is. Okay. And you know, don't change another variable to justify an existing context, as we said in context. Okay. And you know, enye ebusiafo bi ena omoha obi fufura munyina mo ye ebusiafo munyina na eto abama mo munyina na ede adwuma no hye mu nsa wo adwuma no nia adwuma a yɛde ahye wo nsɛm no ɛne na yɛ. If I am the regional secretary and I fail to deliver on my mandate in leading the operations and strategy of the region, vote me out. Party no enye ebusuasem enye me papa dia. Na sebio se eye mebusu adwuma kra na me dia ma me ba na 8 years ontumi deliver ya. Mesisa me de onipa foforo ato. Na nipa kro no ye ni a se eye mebusu ni nyina. The New Patriotic Party is a corporate entity. Sebio tafrache amanfo edi omukuma enu mukra enu omumoja eni age party yesi ho. Enti when you are put in charge of the leadership of the party, you don't play games with it. A results and the
okay. Results ni epe. Sebe kwan bia obefa so bia obenya results no ene hia. Ana me bo
results.
Ene hia. Say 2028 you betime win power. Na ebia Greater Accra no yetimenya be 16 and 17 seats. Ene na hia.
Yeah, they got 16 seats already. From 21 to 5. No year math now.
That's 16
seats. Yes, Uncle Jiba.
Sir. Na
and that is what I am working at.
Okay. Yamfa we so ade bi hu. So your regional secretary. Regional chairman ho. If you want to do something na regional chairman no sabotage wa. Na ontimi ma wonye wadwuma. Na kwese you are forcing so obey, but regional chairman no esisi wa pon ya. As a secretary e dey na obey.
We share the makeup of the leadership structure of the New Patriotic Party. It will be very difficult for the chairman to sabotage you as the secretary.
Why?
Unless you don't know your job. Once I may explain it, Bibi Mao. It is not the regional chairman who runs the party.
But he is the leader of the party.
When you go to the national party structure, it is not the national chairman who runs the party. It is the general secretary who runs the party, but he reports to the chairman. When they sit down at the national council meeting and a party national conference, it is the national chairman who presides over it. But when they take the decision, the implementation onus lies on the secretary, the general secretary, to implement it. The same way when you come to the regional setup, when a decision is taken by the regional executive committee, the onus rests on the regional secretary to operationalize those decisions which has been taken by the regional executive committee. And to tell me which of those decisions or which of those strategies you have been able to implement, and the feedback from those strategies, and the kind of postmortem why any strategy adjustment why in your work, and show me where somebody is inhibiting your work from delivering. That's the reason why I tell you, say, and your kasapi, the results are very critical in this particular matter. And I feel sumpono. Sometimes, let me be very charitable in this case. Ebimpoa na enyese wo na wabon
Sir.
Na ebia strategy na we use so far na strategy na we nim use no. It is not working. That is why there is change in a human institution and even in the natural order. No? Change is inevitable. Until when you try something and it is not working, you change it. And then your Greater Accra regional chairman, Honorable Divine Otuago home. Wabeye ni obetumi aye. Eni so ade hu anke eweda nanima odubeye regional chairman no. Enye sa na wenya no no. And I know some way somehow he's embittered because he feels he could have delivered far better than he was able to do. But Uncle Banasa, who said no, honorably no, let me step back and give someone else the opportunity to also come
to deliver.
Sa nimpa no nyobebe bia no meboa no na nimpa no ayeden etumi deliver. Esan say ejuma no se bio MPP ni enye wo property. Eya mansen nyina ejuma. So asiase.
Okay. General, obi bu sa say me mom de me boss ne Alfred Boy. Na say Alfred Boy ebeye regional chairman ema MPP amanekuo no o Greater Accra. Na obeye regional secretary. Na assistant no ebi a wo ho na afreda boy afre ne say ebi a deputy yes ade we ema me na ebi a wa wo secretary na mane na assistant secretary a deputy secretary ne ebeka kire o say chairman se menye we a as a secretary e de na obeka fa sa ade no
unim political organization ejuma na so enyo ba ko for dia me nye 1,000. We have to be clear in our minds. And nothing na yen vote only you as regional secretary to come and run the entirety of the party. There are many others who are expected to all help to be able to achieve the desired goal. There were chairman, first vice, second vice, secretary, deputy secretary, treasurer, and once upon a time, under the administration of Honorable Ishmael Ashite, I did win 21 seats. He used a certain strategy, very interesting. Regional or zoning regional and regional executives, no, Ochiche zones, no, Emma regional executives. Into all regional executives, no, sorry, Anna Pebia, Unim say, Zona mi Juma Wahan, into me any issue be Wahobahwa, then you escalate it to the steering committee level so that it can be able to receive resolution. So when one you escalate the issue. Nimpa maybe how escalate your so muso one then they escalate the issue to another point. I'm not here to bastardize anybody. But point in say ye nyina osunu kokroko no ni ye yo and the epe. And he say ya try strategy be 8 years. Na sa am why nia. Yes the same. Say there be a fresh opportunity and now fresh idea so ebe back on the table. So that we see how that is also going to go. And I present to the delegates that are engaged. As I say, on my constituency executives or more for other appointees, they say, Nick Lotte is not a novice. I've learned under the feet of one of our most successful Greater Accra regional secretaries, Honorable Ajesoa.
I've learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. No two ways about it. So I'm sorry. Because if you are checking one of the most successful secretaries in this our tradition in Greater Accra, I will mention Ajesoa. I will not forget Honorable Nia Itebuafu, who was the first ever regional secretary in this party. We saw how they work. They work with tact. And they not like, yeah, what they are organizer.
I don't be a good idea now.
Well, I'm just making the point. Don't let me. I don't like attacking people. Let me even put that aside. But it takes a cool head. It takes strategy. It takes tact. It takes diplomacy.
Tactical, seriously.
Very, very tactical. Because you, as the regional secretary, you said Biota Frache. What I said when it Thomas Pateno. When original midfield hono.
I will share boss together.
Checha passes ni na. Let me use that to answer your question. If assignment na say no. Chairman fee say oyan say me Fred deputy secretary no ko this ejuma na. Why should I be troubled? It's not going to work in the interest of the party. Can I do all the work in the region?
Secretary nanka say wan kasa wo ho. It is say bia say chairman say deputy eye ejuma mana. Any problem there. But senka inform as a secretary wo na say oh secretary me say deputy ye be mamia. Senka obehye na munya ana say obema na hu say odi adwuma ma ni deputy but obona ma ne answer eno enya ne kwan so no on say
what's the sound question na kakra
sound
and I want to explain both of it in the two different terms.
Okay.
Say me medjuma and I say me di hu djuma na say you cut me out and you decide to work with somebody else against my role as a player, I will have a challenge with it. So what I say, that is normal, that's natural. Because if you are the chairman and I'm BBC and I want to mambo amanye na me this somebody else deal here, you not like it because that means I'll be usurping your authority.
Okay.
But number two, it also does not mean say everything that you as the chairman would need to establish or achieve in the party, you have to pass through me as a secretary before you are able to do that. No. Every joint okay.
Because me no because me nim say me na me regional secretary. Me na me kuta me deputy no. All those say to about ma ono so ba me na me secretary nankasa it is say bibi ikoso na wa mama mane na akobo me deputy amane se onye without my concern I think say wo no otia e be nya ode
on say my explaining the first one may I explain the second one also want to see let me refine the
second one na me ntie
second one and they say make sure say every joint supplies it is not every single role in the party.
Okay.
That must be played by the regional secretary. So what I say? That must be played by the regional secretary. There are several other operations. Adam, you know, can say a bimpoa na assignment and na role or chairman or the deputy secretary. Maybe it's even in relation to a zone be a man say on sheso. And a woman assignment say, okay, we need to be say. You na say, but na say as regional executive committee and our regional steering committee. That's why we bring reports. The various wings, they will bring their report to the regional organizer. And the regional organizer will understand, okay, what is going on with the youth wing, what's going on with the women's wing, what's going on with the national organization. Now, on also, I report it to the regional secretariat, headed by the regional secretary. No one will say, okay, we no call say, we no na say, but you do ground, so you realize, no, it's a strategy, they say, oh, fine. Okay, let's adopt it and let's see how we replicate it at this other side also.
Okay.
And the work of the regional secretary has to do a lot with
tactical work.
Very tactical feedback. Now, and you want to say papa.
Na ohwa ye wo opposition a wo ba be secretary. Wonyi ni se asudie kese ebeda wo so de.
Minimpa.
Na nka ni bakro na omye course ano. Anka on peke ma na later on furu na nka wo mba. Na wo ba opposition ni enya di ma.
On say watch wrestling that. Those times na Yokozuna ni Monkeka oni ade Hogan no ni minanse no minta hwe enti mi share ani
Hogan na say
Undertaker ni oni na ha ya no mo yes some two tag team won say one corner no nipa mienu other corner nipa mienu instead mienu e share ring no mo omo ko saa na yes o ma bre a won say na ba ko na odwania na akọ tag the other one no aye den change over no aba sam ring ni edu no ebi ana enyese wa wo mu no enyese wo ho nya den yo enyese wo nim ku o ba edu bebi a ese wo tag yo bi
emreye wo ho
enyese wo tag yo bi
nti obi abre
sometimes no pono hwade se wo tag nipa na obem na obeku a ebi a nipa no pono ebi ana wo awode nchen no enso no be mu no obetumi aba be redeem situation no afi wo gina echire no afi na afi wo ahode no kwa na ase na ayede aba back nti avisa bem bio ma na bi na obi ana eboje osusie no enti the new Patriotic Party na e say we have the men it's not a lie. I believe in giving opportunity to as many as have the competence and capability to be able to solve certain problems. Tebi Abraham metinechia na mehwe me hu ade bi. I was talking with test conform. And I realized one thing, say, in Greater Accra this time around, across all the campuses, about 56 or 58 campuses, tertiary institutions across the whole region, you see in almost all the institutions. Meanwhile, that was not the case. It was only in Accra College, Accra Training College, Atraco. And to me, we need it was a institution. So I sat back and said, okay, how do we solve this problem? Because if you NPP, you are the kind of ideals that you subscribe to and your policies as a party, you appeal more to also the low class, the middle class, and the upper class, and you have a lot of elites and a lot of NIMD4 or party. And the identity now call election or various tertiary institutions. Now I say wouldn't Google. So you have to think about the strategy. And I was thinking about it, and I told them, you know something? It appears to me say your TESCON infrastructure now you use to various institutions. No, when they complete, then we go away. They go away, and They either find themselves either lobbying somewhere in the party. If they don't find their feet in the party, then they are gone.
Okay, and so.
So what I say? Okay. And you know the reason why the regional party does not pay much attention to them? Me your prognosis. And what I found out was that it is because Sisi Ayaba election all your 46 TESCON institutions ebe to abama ye. No mo to abano one MIA ye kita 4 years mandate. Omo kita only 1 year mandate. They will be gone.
Omo wia omo nya party dwuma bi abi.
Empo no se omo to abano ma nimpa na se nimpa ni bedi executive ni wiya. Going forward no nimpa no do not pay attention to them again because the next time obeko election ni 4 years later until we leave the TESCON to fight for their own fate. Until na chopo mudia ni no more communities no more pacho no more pacho na, and we don't pay attention to them.
Now TESCON no one is in charge of that TESCON for.
So the TESCON is run by the youth wing of the party. And the TESCON structure no goes all the way to the national youth organizer. But as a regional party, you are also concerned about the happenings in the various wings within your region. So for instance, in the Greater Accra region, we have a regional TESCON coordinator. No coordinating all the TESCON activities in the region.
Okay.
But you see, we have not paid attention to them. But I have engaged them. And when I engaged them, we went through the issues. And I made my proposals to them. A shame is saying to me on air because we're internal strategic matter. That one I would love to keep it. And I'd like to keep it off air because it's a contest. And this is for suit. It's a movement TV platform. The coach repair. And the
a message about a Kobe 25.
Are you
message about to see ya?
And many of them almost say, wow, this is a solid plan. Because this is a plan that is going to carry them along and make sure say we bring a lot more energy back into our campuses to win the campuses back again. These are things that strategically you pay attention to. I look at the youth wing. Now, Osha, going into this election, you can say without any ambiguity, say we had a challenge with the force that the youth wing has. We had a challenge with the force that the women's wing had. We had a challenge also with the force that you can say a national organization had. They tried what they could do. But when strategy is not well coordinated, it will dissipate. But when you are very strategic, even little drops can be able to create a crack in a rock if that little drop is very strategic enough. Enti regional secretary ami pedi se biota frache visa nyame aboa me pa because I have research background. I have elections background from the national party all the way down. My year juma I was pink sheet during the election petition. Enti anything that can go wrong at an electoral center, I know about it. I can close my eyes and tell you every calculation on the pink sheet when they present it before me. Because I've worked on it and I've turned it inside out. I also have a good understanding of public policy. I also have a good understanding of defense and international politics. And when it comes to security matters, I'm not a novice in there.
General, my main bisa message we be said the message we I say o continue SNSN. Or say all what you are saying, he really knows say obetima ye adwuma. But obi busa say General Secretary in Greater Accra.
Regional Secretary.
Regional Secretary, yeah. Sorry. Greater Accra. Edebe pa na uwini odebeba on board aboa eye MPP amanoko no because see 2024 na edidigano edoso. Edidigano e ma amanfo nkwankoto aba. Enu nti na e ka a lot of executives no. Nti wo baba ye secretary no edebede na odebeba on board a ebetimi aboa party no ama 2028 no party menya more seats Greater Accra.
Okay. I'm very glad say you ended with more seats. because one of my sleepless targets is to recover seats now you lose our Greater Accra. That's one of my sleepless targets, and I'm not going to sleep about it. Everything that we do in this region, should I become the Greater Accra Regional Secretary, will be geared towards redeeming the seats that we have lost in Greater Accra, and to do everything possible to make that happen. I feel so no, you see, said okay, didija, any munanenam. When the party is in power, it is different than when the party is in opposition. Certainly, when the party is in power, you have a lot more resources flowing. And you numpo na ese utumi achieving more. But when the party is in opposition, normally there are cash flow challenges, any funding challenges. But you see obia or food pano, on your piano. I have a lot of confidence in this regional party structure. Say, when we begin to do things right, now your party for and Ghana for begin to see the hope that we are bringing into the operations of the regional party. I believe there will be a lot more support coming to the regional party infrastructure to be able to help us achieve our operational activities on ground. Enrichi ena na many opening bi pa edi nkomo mpese mebo ne di ba se ma okan ne se ono wa resolve se obeboa party no pa in opposition ba boa obeboa party no obe target to performance based opening no tie mi a obehu se ono wa asem na meka no na che se onyi sika keke on support keke ntungu na now is dey be, but he will make sure say the spending and the support or the bano, it is achieving specific results in the fortunes of the party. And that is what I intend to focus on. So that yakojina opening bienim and now or the phobia ne yes say on far resources and be party na. Yeah, man, confidence say we are judiciously expending the resources of the party into active use. Any good returns ever bring, not just squandering money or heckling people here. Na obi adia ese ye chemu obi anya bi ni agi we die we se bi na me we nti o de koshipo and no. Enti we are going to pay attention to a kind of saying welfare matters also very critically. In fact, one of my messages, I know say I wouldn't want to say it in the open. Say I can assure you, say, I'm going to lead the charge as regional secretary to revive that volunteer base of our party. Among for Eddie Etuwache, Eddie Ye party Nujuma, without expecting too much back. I'm going to trigger something, and I don't want to say it here. Let me keep that one to my chest. And we are going to do it and do it well. And that will cause many people are omunim politics Ejumayo. Any campaign in the new Patriotic Party, they will all be coming back on board. Because going into this 2028 elections, we need all our best foot forward. And I have an antidote to be able to solve that problem. And they are so excited about it.
What the grassroots or Greater Accra, it is
many of them are fine. Party no eso nti enye obia na bia ni clote enim no ampaso abra me regional research and elections officer 2 terms on e Greater Accra region abra me boa me boss honorable Martin J Mensa Kosa as assistant to him when he was national director of elections ye juma ye no e more behind the scenes so we share honorable Martin J Mensa Kosa and Suban onye ho we share strategy boko I have not been the person who you find here and there and everywhere near the adi. Nemum say ban say elections ejuma na ye dia and obe hu ni clote wo bibia. From 2012 all the way till now, when you check how we print ballots, how we bag ballots, how we deploy ballots, how we distribute ballots across the whole region and across the whole national, you will find Niklote very integral in there because enoni mejuma And I also believe a lot in the division of labor. We are carpenter, men ko ji plumber ejuma.
Anto also.
Me a secretary, men ko ji organize ejuma nye. Me a secretary. It is in my interest to make sure say every arm or every wing of the party is also delivering potently. Say the overall results na ebeba. And na many test conformity be kasa na make chom say ejuma me ba be sure mo any strategy ameba no e be bo mo pa to be able to redeem some sections of baby as yet to see wo na ewie na say it ignores to our benefit in 2028 elections na say meji fans ni bi ewie na say ya back to 21 seats ah ofi say ya ma me fans e be ma me fans na no nche say ejuma ni me nkwa na me ye so a smart person and a smart leader knows to say his competency does not only lie in him delivering on every job, but how he is able to identify various potent and should I say competent hands to be able to help him achieve what he needs to achieve. So I don't come and do know it all. Where I need to consult, I'll consult. Where I need to delegate, I'll delegate.
General, election, friends say, message no bad eba, but ain't me and kind in na. Obi say, Adentina, why research ache na winning dear or research them. Now this is the time and MPP party in here researcher. A bit me boy 2028. Now also general secretary.
Regional secretary now.
Regional secretary, sorry.
Okay, my mincho. Say yeah, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Or one of the senior most economists in this country. Very, very decorated.
The incoming president.
Thank you very much. But your incoming president, he's not lobbying for finance minister. Yes.
Also, the
he wants to be president. Sebio, you're a president. And say, I say, Obo no umodi no obeso tia ekuafo ni ade ama komando o ma chesa say you're a communicator pa
sir
e dating na wan go di communications minister
there be say on say according to the background message no also hwe nsem na wo kan
it ma me bra me answer no so what I need you ona nipa cross send the text no person me appealing to say and Numpo becomes a big advantage being the secretary. Because me can assembly plane to give you the scope of per secretary I want him say he can be able to fit the bill of what a secretary needs to be able to do. A secretary needs to have a cool head. A secretary must be very tactical and diplomatic. A secretary must have a good understanding of strategy. A secretary must have a very good stomach for teamwork. A secretary must be able to understand the implications of research. A secretary must be able to understand how elections operations work. A secretary must be able to know how to have good interpersonal relationships with colleagues and good interpersonal relationships on anyone he is expected to rely on to help him deliver on his mandate.
Okay.
I have mentioned all these competencies, and it will seem as if I'm describing myself.
Send the one describe me.
It's me alone fears. Say I've had a good understanding of these matters. Na say you on said Yera President Nado Danko Akufo-Addo or your lawyer my papa, but obedi president, he wasn't the attorney general or appointee attorney general. In this all taking decisions we realize say or bringing the experience in international relations in law and you now come to bear to make sure say they make the right decisions in this particular sphere. So what I say and that's my research background and my elections acumen becomes a plus should I become the Greater Accra Regional Secretary to be able to help lead the strategy and lead operations in the region for us to redeem our lost seats in Greater Accra.
General, whether me am a personal and you me busao. To say, fee, penny fee, to say, febi, or hard pa, or muddy away and encoso. And to crowd your wagon say, o pese o free fie ko ba bi foforo na se wo fa no so free fie ho a amanfo wo fie ho no behu se ubetimi ahandre efie no but wo fa no e wo fie ho din ti no a se bibia ankoso it is wo fa no e free fie ho na eka wo anka wo pese utu na untu obetre fie ho abo fie am efie no akoso it eno sa ante se wo chairman owo so ana ne ba be ye adwuma se o distracted ana se o how na o free ho na o ko ba bi foforo a onyini se ebe ye ode ama adwuma na wo ba be ye bimu no obetimi aye ne ye mo
you
like Jemna the make and meaning say
metiwasia pa me ma caution me say sometimes when you want to play the devil's advocate you must be careful not to become the devil himself. But let me answer you now. Also what that dream who say o fa na o ka say ono no ha o no what that dream who say e bia wo neighbors so mo o fie no opposite no mo so mo hwe mu fie no mu a omumo ka say na akora boni be na otete no wofa de bia asa no wadwen wo sa fe
akora so on tete no wofa sa
akora no ono nim so otete no wofa enso wo hwe pu na chi a bi omomo say na akora boni kura be ni ade bia otete no wofa yi so ati azi
akora so ji ne hudi say onya akora boni
say wo ono no ji ne hudi say bio tafrache obodanfo prano onim se wabodam ohia wa onu fi se wo no wabodam
sa
inte ya wo wi ofun se anu ahwe de so ati ma ha enti no let's not wish it away na se biota frache like I keep saying let's bring it back in context. This is Greater Accra New Patriotic Party. 8 years is enough for everybody to prove his worth in delivering on the mandate.
President Crank, what say we?
Uncle, what say we? And this is even wisdom in why the national and now the country decided to make 2 terms for 8 years near for a president. Now, it's not saying this is Greater Accra. There were about 6 million people who voted for the New Patriotic Party. Over Greater Accra, there are over 1.2 million people who voted for us in the 2016 elections. And now I know say your votes are dropping by about 600,000. Let us not oversimplify the matter. Okay. The challenge that we are facing in Greater Accra is a serious issue.
And to you came say and I said you are coming say sit near Greater Accra and actually here.
Let us redeem it back. That is when we are able to make Bawumia comfortable as President of the Republic of Ghana come the 7th of January 2029.
Because we need a lot of sitter and never bow ama or presidency no so another or president it's made in Kuni.
That's what I'm talking about. And let me tell you something. We have hope. Said 2028. We are winning this election. Let me tell you something. Usha voters register in year from 2020 to 2024. The voters register increased by about 1.75 million voters. In 2020, no. Your vote ayenya no. Esoti about 2 million. About 2.2 million thereabouts. 2020 no. Yes, your vote from 2020 to 2024 no. Your vote also about some 2.2 million thereabouts.
Okay. Similar to
NDC for vote no. From 2020 to 2024 no. And no increase here just about some 100,000, 101,000 thereabouts. Do you know what has happened? I feel let me explain it to you with my elections and research mind.
Okay.
What it means, they say, even though over 1.75 million new voters has been added to the register, NDC for it mean 100,000 per. Over 100,000 per.
Okay.
So what I say?
Okay.
NDC votes on about 6 million in 2020 no. 2024 no onya 100,000 thereabout per any account. Even though 1.75 million new voters about the count.
Now so when you even margin bia ama mechanic no.
Thank you very much. By ye MPP no. Ye free a little over 2 million votes.
Let's say you 4 something. And I say almost 2 million.
4 point something million.
4 point something million. Now say 2 point something. Now guess a beka ho. Ama. It is uncle for no more hefa.
Let me explain to you. Ebinumbu for your friend voter apathy. For several reasons, one way or the other. Maybe it is due to some government policies that didn't go their way. Certainly, we did domestic debt exchange. It affected people. People lost their savings. Ebinumo wa ebia skabi and need so bond be away office obenyano. Wankonyana sa ya repackaging. Obi wo also ebia a financial sector cleanup ebia na affecting into juma film ni bu efu ni ade. So that can go against us. We understand that also. That is also a factor. My point is say after all that, those people decided say they won't go to even vote at all. And they didn't go to vote. They say I need who end this in your no so to me. Do you know one of my expectations? A question that I am waiting to ask some of the people NDC for now. Omotina TV sini radio so amewu agbo itaflache.
Omukasa basa.
Me kasa basa.
Some no more can omu ni se mo.
Okay, in cremizis who said I met no eyi e wo twi.
Omukasa omo nwe ho ana.
Maybe in crem we kasa ebi opuopo yes o kasa akese.
Okase bum
very hotly. Say anka ye domestic debt exchange na. Omo boy chi saa and also count MU Lucy 2024 elections no. Anka me feel say anka omo ba be mu no. Ombeka say oh domestic debt exchange na eyi Akufo-Addo ye na odi save economy from collapse you know. And yet enti me send the musika sound be mama back. What is on my sir?
That say cry first the Ghana card say no. Omko na ejiji Ghana card.
Ayo.
And so in some omka fa Ghana card no na nyense papa.
Ayo.
Say Captain Smart kuta Ghana card. So the year there so the be who video club me ntie.
Omo no mo bo Ghana card na safo hini. Emom abra yira His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia oka say ye the 5 interchanges to near the Ghana card to obechusi Ghana card. Omo anti ase.
Ono mu twa de.
Eno no mu yi Interior Minister Honorable Muntaka born in Numtio or say the Ghana card no abeye the one of the most important factor in the national security. On one numa say near national security asema can you compare it to 5 interchanges?
No. It's not possible, it's not possible.
And almost say omo ka say wa wonni Ghana card no u pay kra payroll unya.
Yes.
Ghana card.
Let's go pay Ghana card by force. The Ghana card so cost 500 cedis or 450 cedis. It's general.
The least said about them the better. The least said. So my point is that there is hope. Say say na niama na interventions na ade a MPP ye no. Say na ye.
Okay.
And we did a lot of good things because you see the way the people feel. They won't pay attention to facts and figures. Say come they will say yeah, say mekanya say sem kra na make an untie say come they. So there are things that we have learned. Now that we have come back. Mistakes be or what yenko ye biom. Ye be ya dey. So what I'm telling you is say there are over 2 million people who because of apathy did not go to cast their votes for us. Will now sit back and realize say and yes say boni dudu bia e manoko ba na sa. Nemum circumstantial events in a lady emanoko ba na sa. Certainly we made some errors and we take responsibility for it. When we go back to those people, we are going to beg them. Ye pepa omocho boni bia ye no mumfa nche. No mumma mandate ni bio so that we go back again. What I'm confident in and I tell my people is say 2.2 million people now want to about Mayano. They didn't go to vote for NDC.
No. They were in the house.
Yes.
I wanted to feel
because they don't trust in their competence. And it is telling now. They say, there's no money in the system. There's no money in the system.
So almost say, Tamana MPP Amano no mabuade by Nessica.
You. They say almost say, Niamaya for Yentiminto. Amiable. Yeah, Bisa finance minister says scan way. Or no one for they call it cabinet ministers. Blame me to say on release scam or momu fire implementing or more various policies near the idea. Say the bear or no advantage at the dome when it comes to whether flag bearership or when it comes to running mates near the idea. But you see, when you are thinking about building a nation, you see, and it's in a MPP, Debiana, we face challenges when we are in government. So Ghana have very little tolerance for the new patriotic party when we are in government. And let me tell you the reason why. It's a big psychology that voters have not paid critical attention to. I'm telling you, it is because the Ghanaian people trust us as better managers of this country. So when we take the reins of power, they expect bigger things from us.
Okay.
Adia NDC 4 year omode beche wo mu no. Say MPP 4 year omo mfa nche yenda. Sebio uwomba ana wo nuanu bi. Unim omusuban obi wo ha unim say we dey obo no homodin pa. Unim say we dey o I say it is obana so ye wi I say we dey sa not here. But so no unim say oh na bi wo pa na we yes ah. What me I say?
That's what I say. But general me enkwe sa scenario we Greater Accra. What is some mobile executives na say omamboa ama party na ntimi endi nkunim ana say lose na buy no ye nyina aka ho bi ene lusu o Greater Accra na
obi age ne share obi age ne share but it comes in different proportions but not to go back too much into the past now you want to go forward knowing what you have known in the past and then na fear say osisa and how adjust it which can give you a competitive edge going into the future. That is the reason why we are going to this contest. That is the reason why some people have honorably stepped back to give opportunity for others to also come into this Osunuko Kroko party no more be one forward match.
Na that means
and no back for Juma.
Na that means kona wo kono. Ofi say this time no Juma no betimi aye achen di owo so no. Nti ye ma kwan na beteki eye Greater Accra na said.
And then I can tell you without fear or favor. Say betimi aye no mroso.
Oh sure.
Oh. Opa on. Fimechi. Ne bisa omo nim ni cloth ne djuma.
Because a man for her pa.
Na bisa ne say na ni cloth aye ka no asemi. As original secretary djuma no betimi aya na. They will tell you say ni cloth can
deliver. No doubt because obe kasa bebre, obe kasa the normal but ebia adwuma de mawa na ebia na akwankobo.
Men doubt na make a show say one advantage I me want to say I was part of the winning team that won 21 seats for Greater Accra. Enti minim say they see ya and no to me buy.
Enti wo ba woni me kwan obefa so a obesa nya seat ni back.
Aba me twendwen. Matine chire a steady ni ye. And I know where the trouble spots are. And I have no doubts in my mind about certain principles and strategies that SCA put in place to quickly readjust the party and focus it to winning ways in Greater Accra. I'm not coming to joke.
Did I na kofa form so?
Wednesday na me file.
And I record that.
Thursday na me file.
Thursday no ukodu region na o file no. Uhun terrain ni say ho.
Oh, enya terrain hu bia. So wo be pay djuma. Wo so be tumi aye. And a party say share da honi. Enti ebebie nomination form ni say na amre na file ni betwemu. Enti hwe no pepepe say within this period you wait me pick your file. Enti me hwe pepepe say bibia ya fine. Me certificates ni ade ni masters e wo mu ni nyina no. Maboabo ni nyina no. Eni me picture fefe na me de akọ. Enti nyame ncha de amokọ ballot ni mo bi say young man be or smiley pa very nice man.
Not sponsor space.
Oh, space no. If you are not man share space no. Also as I say, if you are not man with music use so if you are not man share space no, but because I wear it also sometimes and you know it was a very cool and calm terrain and I had so much confidence. But when I was filing, I was just imagining how running the region the right way as the regional secretary is going to be like. I was thinking of TESCON. Now me dream about the youth wing. Me dream about women's wing. How are we going to make the women, not just the women's wing, pay attention to older women, but a women's wing that is paying attention to the older women, market women, young ladies, women in like the business category, as in the corporate side level. No? So what I say? Region, there's a lot we can do.
And me call ho. Na me ku sidie odo aba party ni mu no. I say enije bi aba party ni ma party no. I say ye fa ntoma pa e de efra.
Yeah.
It is so sure sa no man e koso no ejinja wo say obeye regional secretary na betimi amboa party na nas e de be titru pa na opese oye boa ye greater Accra fo a wani abredenden sa.
Amenka no kura bi ncheo. Amenka no kura bi pa ncheo. One of my most burning desires is to stand wherever I am seeing Baumia directly. Abra okita afnanum say no swear to be the president of the Republic of Ghana. Until that day, I will not sleep in making sure Greater Accra region comes to winning ways. Mekai Abra Yura, His Excellency President Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. Adudi papa.
Adudruba.
I tell you, Abra also afnoma or swear no. Mekai pa na near Dr. Lord Comey.
Nanaga.
And near war Independence Square. Also no at some point, you know, I say ni so better many kakra. Because as a man ba mitima say inti papa na amanfo ka say on to mean the president that woni wiase no. And so no kita afuna no mu na ni so atata many kakra. I was very excited. That excitement is transferring to Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I can't wait till the day that man becomes president of the Republic of Ghana. Ghana fon shedan hu ni ye. But let's pay attention to that man. Say Nyankopon ebeye bibia boa o man bia. On tosika amfisru. He sends a man. Abra Nyankopon peso jiwiase nyina no. One to angels amfisru. He sent a man, Jesus Christ. No be beji yankwa. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He is God's gift to Ghana.
But we don't know.
See, adia aso government ya senior almost omode bom omo asafo hini so ometumi aso dollar mu na ade nyina. It is all from the gold purchase program. That is the brainchild of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ghana card no ma boaje so na aikao ama eni baby awo across the world ubetumi dia aba Ghana. Uyi wo Ghana card sorry na wa ba bedu Ghana. Wo hia passport po biom ubetumi ya bedu Ghana. Medical drone delivery. Emre me abra NDC for by we can Sam George.
Sam George.
No akwa jina ho. Jina na drone tu ya na hey yo wa. Kwe ka ye gbe ka abada. Ghana bi wo ya unto. Ade ana omo eno no omo bonus afo hini no. You see, you know, this is a man who thinks transgenerational. In fact, he thinks ahead of his generation. So what I say, when this man becomes the president of the Republic of Ghana, the sky is the stepping stone, it's not the limit.
General, and some man person in Busa no, I say, oh can 7 minutes na I be 15 minutes, but memo be 5 minutes. Now we dey wrap up. Now and 7 edoso ye. Now me just say as time goes on, no, you be engage you more because Greater Accra no region be a see ntimi anwini a eba ha ye papa yetiefo ene yahwefo aha Patriotic agenda jumadi ID movement TV untumi radio na opebi ahwa na okọ untumi online okọ movement TV YouTube so aye twagu de nende na ene ye ne ni clote a ope general secretary ewo Greater Accra no ye ne neto a ye dede nkomo na waka nsem bebre na oba regional Greater Accra Hanma regional oba for secretary na amanfo se obetimi aye itino yepese ebusa ne se oni delegate no etisen because the delegate you say fear delegate say join the council fear delegate obaka won sem the but a drew post na yato abetia It's ye ne a niclote eba baby no. Ye perceive busan say, only delegate at the same 34 constituency no. To say every constituency be omye 19 anamwa.
Yes.
It's in 19 no. So shut 34 constituency now. Including more deputies. Youth organizer the deputy. And organizer deputy. Appointees no no. It is so shema. A day in our catch delegates no. And our so percentage ben and I'll bet me a dear really Great Accra.
Okay. But that's a question. But is it based on the research background? No? I don't like throwing figures out. I don't bandy figures out.
Okay.
Because it must be backed with empirical evidence.
Okay.
I am not careless with figures.
So far as research near you did, what me who said no money.
But on say after say out of 34 constituencies, there are about 26 constituencies. And we constituency elections. I think so no 11, and they are elected. Collect cloth for as of communication, no, as of matching chance to Kakra, but resolve it in no time. I feel now on mobile appointments, if you know my chassis,
can't collect cloth there. Or not, Chairman Dollar, you know what,
David. Say,
Chairman Dollar first one. Or Madina. But I say, Chairman Dollar about Great Accra, you say, on a maybe a dollar, on a be a dollar. Two more collect cloth in the business.
What I say, assembly
American.
Okay.
No, say Oba has said,
Oba
has said a boa de pa. Because now issues be woman. Me interview no ha. Na after interview na not so no. And answer not interview no so no. Course na ban so from regional national no. Na anoten.
Our platform is a big platform, pa.
Na anoten pa. It's your ho. Ya pon ya pena. Empenifo bi frɛ no nationals omrese ya. Na ne vetting no ma no maybe no ompese omtrance. Oha na ofrɛ me no say no ma pass say omra. It is like one much we so a akamiji dis anka.
I got
I'm one crack.
Pfizer is a solid guy. On the watch in serving the party. Why constituency executives before? Abra na mayor regional research and elections officer. It was Greater Accra. I used to liaise with him a lot.
Okay.
On the now some of our research and then you know quantitative, you are qualitative. Until you will not speak with everybody, but you engage some tactical people to understand certain happenings on the ground. Now help you to be able to also write your reports, which will then inform strategy at the regional level. Until, Pfizer was one of the people, when you pick his thoughts on certain dynamics in the constituency, it doesn't fail. You can even expand the skill and you realize, what no can.
Because also boom maybe a near borrow, some man did some normal vetting. I feel almost say, my postpone saying is I feel on by and almost know my disqualified.
Bayana ebia nyanyame be ebia na ye.
Because that day na my friend no. Na ayen so omrama nemba. But them names are situations so owo.
Okay.
It's yet to set so no. Na course no ba na eba. It's a one papa. It's incoming.
Yes sir.
You have 2 minutes be. Faka me be kire, hwe camera nanim. Ofudu apa. Hwe camera nanim. Na ka me be kire o delegate on beto aba ma o. August on the 8th for na mewa.
Be in 15 16. The committee no be agree on whether be in 15th and 16th.
Okay. To hwe camera nanim. Na ka bibi e kire delegate no. Se omuhu mobo. Na 19th August and 18th no.
15th or 16th.
15th or 16th. Omunshe wani munyam. Nema party no. Sidie wakase obeje mo sita Margaret Accra no. Can be chiro.
Yo. And the ahwefo na tiefo meda mo nyina ase. Me gidi se anadwe nsema makeka no. Enye delegates ana constituency executives nko aho na efa. Efa ye osunu kokroko no party no e wo Greater Accra region. Eno ho nkomo ene yebobo ho ne no. We have a challenge and we must not wish it away. Once upon a time no, e kan yaba no, near na 1.2 million votes ɛwɔ Greater Accra. Near kita 21 seats ɛwɔ Greater Accra. So ɛnɛ a mmra so a yɛba abɛkɔ election biomi. Yekita 5 seats in Greater Accra. Ekita votes of about 600,000. Na kyerɛ sɛ yɛasan yɛkyi about 600,000 votes back. But ɛyɛ a na mpanimfoɔ ka asɛm bi sɛ nea mmoa edi akɔ no muni nkɔ na mmom nea aka no ɛsɛ ɛbɔ ho ban. We stand at the crossroads to the extent say we now have to select a regional secretary obetumi aboa with strategy, obetumi aboa with effective coordination, obetumi aboa with strategy and analysis, obetumi aboa to implement the decisions of the regional executive committee, obetumi aboa ama party na sanfa ntuma pa efra our Greater Accra region. I may not be able to say more our general TV. Nemo, member constituency by constituency, the elected any appointed constituency executives na me de mensem pano abremu our various constituencies. Niklote musumfo munim no. Waye regional research and elections officer paying. Amra na odimu akotene no. Oni mpenimfo bi ti say former mayor Ajesowa, honorable Ishmael Ashite, Archibald num, Joyce Impare num, Alfred Boy num, any Albert Ochi num nya de ade. Ene yedi winning 21 seats edi ma Greater Accra. Me gidi say niama yetumi yes amre na ebo ayeni a yetumi winning 21 seats no. Umma me sa ho kwan no. Na say mbe ye Greater Accra regional secretary a. Ebo me ho modern pa. Na masan aboa ama ye redeem sa seats na unfortunately no ahwe yensa no. Enti misramu 8 years no bi abɔ no ho modern. Bebi odi abedru no enye saa na nke ye pɛ no. Enti misramu sɛ monsesa monsa na monfa Niklote enko for Greater Accra regional secretary. Na me gidi sɛ in the 2028 elections na ye koi ye be sha sentem right from the day you elect me as the regional secretary. Na ye dwumaden akokodin e de aboa Osnoko Koko party no e wo Greater Accra region. Na etumi afa yentuma pefra to put Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the president of the Republic of Ghana. Na my boss Honorable Henry Kwote, former MP Edema Ayaso Central. Utumi Fubika said, don't take the delegates for granted. Wa ho brasi a okitano kitano sa afako. Men show biasa emfa nsawasa. Enti mekọ no saa ba ne hia esese ye no e be ye ni aye ni ye na Greater Accra MPP afa ne tuma prefra madam wasepa
ye bada wasepa ye ne eye Niklote na edede nkomo waka nsem bebre na bebi oka ye me de pa se ose one ne boss eye odomnyamfo Henry Kwote na mjini se I was central for the ombesa ede naba because omanfa Henry Kwote ama mjini se emwa eti I was central e besere mu abon na mo ye no monye ne ntem na se ya anya ne ntem a wanhwe a eye Henry Kwote constituency vote 19 na wo no ebia na Niklote mo antimi anto abanye de ama no ti e besere se sa ayawa central constituency abon no monye ne ntem mayen se de be ya because 19 vote de me giri se ayawa central obetimi akukuru ni nyina ananwa
minje obia mo obia
tem se me bisa because o ka se wo boss de a wo boss so de o na the gent e wa
ayawa central minje bi mo obia
unje bi mo obia unje ba akukura
David
sana
ene de mefum amanfo fa nche
enti ni ye besere eno so wo hu omososo se de ensema akukoso ho enti ye besere
ye behwe ye beboa na bibia akoyi
se 19 vote no ebia na ba kwa na mienu bi ato ma no enti ye besere adwumadie Patriotic agenda adwumadie na nka ese mwat ebe transe mwat ka ese mwat ebe transe but time ko bebre ba ye ma eye Niclote be 2 minutes in count because I carry 2 minutes near upon. Na on fan can be being chere a youth na or more a MPP man who because it's so a lot of youth in part in your maconobi. And I'm a boy. It is a Ubabe secretary no, a greater crown. A thing, a foot to obey, and I do youth no, with just 2 minutes pay.
You. When you tell me, or 1 year as regional secretary. When the strategies start working now, we will say the youth to be revived again.
Because the MPP man when say who
on say so won create avenue and our platform and our strategy would be mobilize you and give them the space to be able to operate. You will not see how they can exert their energies. Once I make a women's wing assembly, make various categories of women's frontal, you pay attention to. The same way when you come to the youth, most often than not, emanating from your Tescon side, and a few other young people in different spheres and forms. But see you pay attention to them to help them in their development. Almost sooner they have the energies to be able to help driving the campaign and leading the mobilization and all that. And going into this election, Ghana is a youthful population. Africa in general has a very youthful population. And it's no different from Ghana or from the New Patriotic Party. Until we are going to pay attention to them. Mijidi said, various candidates who are more person, more contested youth organizer, they are very poised to be able to lead the youth charge. And me, as regional secretary, I'm going to give them every support I can get to be able to make sure, say, they are leading the charge more like in the front line of the mobilization of the New Patriotic Party going into the 2028 elections. Into youth for the but strategies, mean to me finding in hand to
Yate. Aha, I patriotic agenda jumedi a yedi movement untumi radio. Na anka mmerɛ wɔ hɔ a anka ne Niclote ebekeka nsɛm pa. Na me pese ebusa de nsɛm bi, na me ponche ne kakra. Na anka the strategies bi ɛwɔ hɔ no. Wo yi bi di brɛ me. Na anka yetimi di ye de bɛyɛ. But wentimi anka, ɔde ni na ahyɛ tukrom. Na me giri sɛ nyame adoma next week ye bɛsa atrase patriotic agenda jumedi. Na me amedi dwumadie efem na boadu dodo na afem na bi na omo boa me eye ofuduapa ohwe ne shoe a de bia na ne shoe te shine papa e na chame ba akopɛ e ma dodo okunu chame ba akopɛ e na ebi efiura e na yanka se ye boss onum nyamfo Chris Kweku ye beda na papa o na amaye akonye ya ye di sa dwumadie we na dwumadie we so de obi enim se chema wontumi dwumadie na wo ma na afre party for ma komunu bi no ma be kasa eti nyame adoma next week Wednesday, Thursday, Friday e be sa trance na ye de ensema ya akono ensema ede ensema mo pese mutie ye de ni na abremu nyame nko bibiara bye bye Jina bia na mpese me de ensema ifai twitwa boss